About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns and praise to God, and the prisoners were listening to them. And the prisoners were listening to them. They were praying and singing hymns of praise to God. Yeah. And the prisoners were listening to them. And suddenly there came a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison, take off your literal ears here, and the foundations of the prison house were shaken, and immediately all the doors, study doors, Bible students, and all the doors were opened, and everyone's chains were unfastened. Not just Paul and Silas. From their very foundation, they received the light of the Lord, and their chains were unfastened, and their doors were opened. A doorway of revelation.
Doors and light.
Yes.
Good stuff. And everyone's changing.
Everyone that heard it, people. Everyone. Now let's take this out of the literal context. Let's take it out of the four walls of the building that we call church.
Yeah, come on.
The fruit of their lips giving thanks. Worshiping God to look at a doorway of revelation and being a vessel of the Word and of the Spirit broke their chains. We have got to use the fruit of our lips and give Him thanks. We have got to seek Him for that doorway of revelation and understanding. We've got to do it. And then when we become that vessel, as we seek that revelation and we're full of milk, water, and wine, then we will set the captives free. That's what we were built for. That's what we were made for. That's why we were created. To be a vessel for His glory. And our whole trek on this planet called Earth is to be transformed into His image. Praise and worship releases the glory of the Lord. 2 Chronicles 5:13 and 14. In unison, there's that word again, when the trumpeters and the singers were to make themselves heard with how many voices?
One voice.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Trumpets and singers making themselves heard as one voice to praise and to glorify the Lord when they lifted up their voice accompanied by trumpets and cymbals and instruments of music, and when they praised the Lord, saying, He indeed is good, for His loving kindness is everlasting. Then the house of the Lord was filled with a cloud, so that the priests could not stand to minister because of the cloud. For the glory of the Lord had filled the house. Don't look at this literally. Right. The glory of the Lord filled the house. Acts chapter 17, for God no longer dwells with temples made with hands.
That's right.
He no longer dwells in the temples made with hands. He dwells in us. And when we praise Him, and when we worship Him, and when we fill ourselves up with His Word and His Spirit, and we come together in one voice, the glory of the Lord fills us.
That's awesome.